The Sisi Ni Sifuna mega rally in Kakamega, followed by very successful stopovers in Mbale, Vihiga County, was a huge, huge success, no matter how you want to look at it. On the surface of things, one may be tempted to believe that it was all very easy. Everything went like clockwork. But that is not the reality, because the team was faced with huge challenges all the way, which they overcame, so that what we saw was a successful rally that has sent shockwaves right across the political landscape of the nation called Kenya. Now, I want us to go very quickly into those challenges because I believe they're very instructive. They tell us a lot about Team Sifuna. They tell us more than a lot. So I want us to go very quickly through those before we analyze the politics, because there's been a very major shift in our politics. Oh, so major, I believe things will never be the same again. And those who are saying that this is a passing cloud, I think they need to go back to the drawing boards and reanalyze this. Because whatever happens going forward, even if somebody manages to stop this wave, whatever happens, things in our country will never be the same again. So very quickly through what happened, especially what you may not have seen in the media and maybe not even on social media. I am very grateful for the good team I had right on the ground. For starters, they did not even land in Kisumu as had been planned, because reports came through that there had been some goons, some youths organized outside the airport who are going to make life very difficult for the Sisi Ni Sifuna people. And so the aircraft was diverted at the last minute away from the Kisumu airport to land in Webuye. I did not even know that there was a place in Webuye where aircrafts can land. But apparently I'm learning there is Matulo airstrip, okay, which I believe is smaller than Kakamega airport, which is a single asphalt runway measuring 4,200 feet in length, 1,300 meters. But I'm guessing the team did not want to land there because it would have been very easy for the goons to be rediverted to Kakamega. Yeah, because it's only about 40-45 minutes drive from Kisumu at very high speed. And so the whole program very suddenly and unexpectedly changed, because the plan had been to land in Kisumu and then stop over in Mbale in Vihiga County and then make a grand entry into Kakamega for the major mega rally. But what happened instead is that they started off with the Kakamega rally and then after that proceeded to Mbale for the stopovers and brief speeches to the people in that area. Now, what does that tell you? It tells me how watu wamejipanga, because that change for whoever was organizing all this must have been a logistical nightmare. Think about it. All the vehicles were waiting in Kisumu, and so they had to communicate and get diverted all the way to Webuye. It is very clear that those supporting the state, and indeed the state, were very determined to disrupt this rally and to make sure it did not happen. And if it did, that things went so wrong that its impact would be reduced dramatically. That is more than clear. Because for starters, all border riders within Kakamega were given free fuel, free petrol, yeah, worth Kenya shillings 300. And then they're also given reflectors, branded 2-term reflectors. And of course the instructions were very simple. Disrupt that meeting, you will get protection from the police, and make sure there is a heavy 2-term presence to counter this 1-term meeting. I'm sure you get what I'm trying to drive at. But those who did not want this meeting to happen did not stop there. During the actual rally, in fact, Sifuna had just started speaking, somebody lobbed tear gas into the crowd. Zima hiyo kitu tuendelee na mkutano. Weka jacket. Zima hiyo kitu kama bangi ya jana. Huh? Eish. Now. Niseme, nisiseme. Wacha niseme. You know, Kakamega is infamous for bangi. Many of the youths there have a reputation for partaking of the weed made famous by the late Bob Marley. And so shall we say what Sifuna was doing was trying to communicate in a language that his audience would quickly understand. My informants on the ground are telling me something that I'm still trying to wrap my mind around. Walizima hiyo kitu na maji. They put it off by soaking it with water. And even more interesting, because I'm sure you're asking the question, where did the water come from? They came to the meeting with drums, jerrycans of water. They were prepared. I believe if you get time to review the videos of the Kakamega mega rally, you will notice that those who attended, most of them were already armed, with rungus and sticks. Bottom line, they were prepared for anything. And even after the tear gas was lobbed into the crowd, Sifuna and company urged the people not to retaliate, not to throw stones at the police, but to remain peaceful so that the meeting could continue. And the people obeyed, and the meeting continued. What? Amazing. And that's not all. It seems that they had a system, pre-arranged, pre-organized, of quickly identifying disruptors, who were dealt with mercilessly. And on several occasions, Sifuna and company had to urge the people to stop what they were doing to these disruptors, and take them to hospital. In the end, they were handed over, to the dais, to the leaders. And super fascinating, one of them was found to have handcuffs. They had carried handcuffs with them. Hey, where did they get handcuffs? Police handcuffs. I know that you're going to agree with me that that is irrefutable evidence that the disruption of this Sifuna rally was very heavily sponsored, backed, organized, etc., by the state, ordered by the current regime, which seems not to have found an answer yet for stopping the Sifuna wave. And I believe this is where people power comes into play. And I think we all understand that people power is impossible to stop. Okay? Because, for instance, the border riders who were given 300 bob worth of free fuel still went for the meeting, but were on the side of Sisi Ni Sifuna. But not before banning, the two-term branded reflectors they had been given. In other words, they took the free petrol, thank you very much. They took the reflectors, but they did not do what they were instructed to do. Because had they made a different decision, things would have gone very differently at this mega rally. Bila kizungu mingi, the people power enforced a peaceful mega rally. Now, I don't know about you, but in my opinion, that is major. Why? Because it tells you people power is taking over, and people power is unstoppable. And therefore, the Sisi Ni Sifuna movement is going to be unstoppable. Whatever response we get from the other side of the political divide, and I mean whatever response we get, and that includes hata kumaliza watu, it will not stop this wave. And that has to be very, very bad news for the current limping regime. Hiya, we have already started analyzing the politics. So let's continue. The Kakamega mega rally emphasized, underlined, confirmed the power and the reach of the brand new Sisi Ni Sifuna movement. And what that means is that our politics has been turned upside down. This is a major game changer. Let me spell it out. For starters, the unified opposition now has to scramble and very quickly find a way to remain relevant in Kenyan politics. Oh yes, that's what it means. All the plans, all the countermeasures, political countermeasures, UDA and the Ruto regime had so carefully and painstakingly put together have now been reduced to useless. Because all of a sudden there is a brand new kid on the block they have to deal with. And to make matters worse, it is clear that this brand new kid on the block is driven by people power. I can see a situation in the very near future where the united opposition go to a place for a rally or for a meet the people tour, and they are met with chants of Sisi Ni Sifuna. They are met with questions like, where is Sifuna? Where is Babu Wino? That is what I'm foreseeing. Because something else the Kakamega rally confirmed was the fact that the Sisi Ni Sifuna movement has countrywide backing. Now there's no doubt about that. Something else very significant confirmed in Kakamega is the fact that the Luhya nation, for the first time since the passing on of legend, patriot, the late Masinde Muliro, for the very first time since then, the Luhya nation have united behind one major national movement. Yeah, ready to back one major candidate in that particular movement. And many believe that that candidate is going to be a man called Edwin Sifuna. What? How did that even happen? Now we're informed that the Sisi Ni Sifuna team is taking a break, until the end of the Muslim Ramadan. And then they're going to re-emerge in Mombasa, which will be a super fascinating rally for many political reasons. Which brings me to something else that I have now confirmed about this major political movement in our country. And that is the fact that they have amongst them very, very serious political thinkers and strategists. Some of the following. They started off testing the waters by launching in Busia. That was where the very, very first rally was. Not without reason. And then they moved to Kitengela in Kajiado County, but in the outskirts of Nairobi, avoiding the Nairobi CBD. That was not without reason. In my opinion, the momentum was not ready for Nairobi CBD. Very, very smart. And then Kakamega, not without reason, because this was to confirm the unity of the Luhya nation. Because charity starts at home, whichever way you want to look at it. Because with the full backing from home, you can now confidently go anywhere. And the most important point, all those places where they've been to so far, wait for this one, were major Raila Odinga ODM strongholds with die-hard supporters of Raila Odinga and the ODM party. That is a key point to note. Hey, these people are not joking. Hey, now wamejipanga. And that would include Mombasa. Oh yes. Now let us think even more deeply here. Why start a new political outfit and be forced to build up the structures, the support base from scratch, when you can use the readily available ODM infrastructure, Raila Amolo Odinga infrastructure? I believe that is what it is. Very smart move, because everybody in Kenya believes the ODM party is dead, done and dusted. No wonder At every meeting, Edwin Sifuna has been starting off by emphasizing that he is still the Secretary General of the ODM party. Now that one makes perfect sense with the information I have just given you. Norma si norma. Fire si fire. Yeah. Better brace yourselves, guys. This is going to be a very rough, exciting, political ride. Of that, there is absolutely no doubt. Now, I received a very touching letter from one of you. Yeah? And the gist of that letter is that they said they were very, very happy with the latest developments in Kenyan politics. I don't know why I have a feeling that they were speaking for many, many Kenyans, the vast majority of Kenyans, when they said that. And they added that they were very, very happy that now the Luhya nation, the Mulembe nation, is united as one. And that unity cannot be broken by anything going forward. He really emphasized in his email that that has made his day. Because since Raila Odinga's victory was stolen in 2022 and a leader imposed in the country, this man has been ignoring Kenyan politics. Completely, he has had zero interest in the politics in the country. According to him, even the Gen Z uprising of 2024 did not excite him. But now, he is very excited. And for that reason, he continued. He was begging me to swallow my words and allow him to sponsor more Kenyans to the sensitive information on this channel. Why? Because according to him, he believes information is power. That going forward, people power cannot work without information. And so the very good news on this Sunday is that in case you're not yet a holder of our golden key, you have an extended opportunity for a very brief period, maximum 48 hours, to do so. To get a heavily sponsored golden key. Because all you need is Kenya shillings 999 or $8 to become a permanent holder of the golden key. And immediately, you're going to receive all my previous special reports. And there is a lot. How they finished Raila, in great detail. How they finished the late Cyrus Njirongo. What really happened to the late General Gola? Oh yes, very sad story. It was an assassination, I'm afraid. And a lot of the other highly sensitive information, you're going to receive all of it. And going forward, a lot of the information that is going to be coming out of this channel, a lot of it highly sensitive. And therefore others are going to pay for it. You will receive free. You can see details on your screens right now. Please move with speed to avoid disappointment. Please don't postpone. Please do it now. All for a better Kenya. The better Kenya we yearn for. Until next time, this is Chris Kumekucha.